Hey guys, welcome to another Formula V track guide, this time at Tsukuba. I apologise that I haven't done these for the last few weeks. I've just been busy on the lead up to Christmas, so I haven't really had the time, but should be back with all these for the rest of the season. So Tsukuba's quite a technical track. There's not a massive lot to run through in terms of number of corners. Most of them are quite simple, but there are a couple of little bits that make quite a big change to your lap time if you can do them right. So turn one, just make sure all the way to the left, and then as you hit the brakes, you want to start turning in just before you get on the brakes, so you can do the first part of your braking in a nice straight line. See here, get a lot of it done. And then once you've got that sort of first initial bit of braking done, you can roll off the brake pedal, roll into the corner, and you want to make sure you're keeping the speed as high as you can while still getting into this white line. You don't want to touch the inside curb because it'll push the car off, but if you can get right in up against this white line, that's the perfect line to be on. Feed the throttle up, use all the track on the exit to wind the steering off and build the speed. Hold third down to this next corner. You don't want to use fourth, you lose too much time in the gear change. And I use this change in tarmac as a bit of a braking point. See, hit the brakes, again, nice straight braking. And then once you've got a lot of the speed off, you can start to roll the brake off. And as you get to the middle of the corner here and the car starts to understeer, you give it a nice blip of throttle and downshift to second. If you can get this blip correct, it won't make the car snap. If you don't rev match with the throttle, when you bang it into gear, you'll get the car snapping sideways and that will lose your lap time. But if you can get that blip correct, you can then get on the throttle really hard and the car rotates a lot better in second, but it also accelerates faster, so it gives you a really good punch off this corner. Make sure you use all the track on the exit, bring it to the left, white line. You can actually cut this curb a little bit, little lift just to get the front in, and make sure you're right up against the curb here. You can actually use a little bit of grass, but we didn't on this lap. All the way to the outside, and again, make sure you're cutting distance, so just stay as tight to this white line as you can initially, and then just so you're not scrubbing speed, as we get to here, we'll let it run out to the middle a little bit, and then we'll start cutting back again. Again, all the way to the outside, brake nice and hard in a straight line initially. This will stop, if you brake and turn too much, you'll lose the rear end, which in these corners costs you a lot of lap time. So it's better to get all your hard braking done initially, and then you can start to roll off and just roll the speed into the corner. And actually with this car, it's not too fussy. You can be a couple of Ks too fast, couple of Ks too slow, and you can sort of adjust it through the corner just with when you pick up the throttle. So you'll see we roll in the speed, and then as we get to the middle of the corner again, just like the last hairpin, give it a blip of throttle, bang it into second, and again this gives us a really good punch out the corner and the car rotates a lot better, so you'll see we get a good drive out all the way out to the exit, and this gives you a lovely drive down to the end of the straight. If you can use second through those two hairpins, it's probably worth about 2/10 across both of them put together, so that can make quite a big difference to your track position after qualifying. This last corner, just make sure you turn in flat. You can actually stay on the throttle quite far into the corner. Never really brake for this corner. If you use the brake, you just scrub speed. Middle of the corner, before the curb, I downshift to third. You can do the whole corner in fourth, and it's not really a big lap time loss. It's a couple of hundredths, but it's a lot easier. So if you're struggling a little bit, just leave it in fourth, and as long as you roll the speed, you'll be absolutely fine. You want to make sure you get right up against the white line again, like T1, but don't touch the curb. If you touch the curb, it will push you out. Pick up the throttle nice and early. Let the car run out, and you can use all this AstroTurf on the outside, so you want to be making sure that you're on the throttle early enough that the car's being forced to the outside here. Like we've talked about on other track guides, make sure on this corner you're not scrubbing the whole way around. Once you get the turning done, you've picked up the throttle, you actually want to start feeding the lock off and let it run out into this Astro, and that will help you build speed over the line. I shift to fourth before the end of my lap. You can hold third, really doesn't matter. Obviously in the race you will need to shift to fourth because that will carry your speed onto the next lap. That's a lap of Tsukuba in Formula V, and yeah, any questions just feel free to ask below, and I'll have next week's track guide up sometime in the next couple of days. Cheers.